said.
I haven't played a show in 7 months. I'm such a hermit naturally, that, if I get on the road, I get going and then I can get into that thing. But gosh, I'm like, oh my gosh, is there people going to look at me and everything? It's easy to feel pigeonholed as a Guthrie because you automatically start out, you're already a folk singer, no matter what you do. I almost intentionally, I think it was actually subconscious, but I think there was intent behind it to sort of just get away from that. And yet, when you get into the world of music, it's all connected.
Moonlight and stars in the garden where the
I love playing with my family. I started playing with my dad, and then it was his audiences that, really supported me through the beginning of my career. My creative process, a lot of it has been with Johnny, my husband of almost 23 years, and 17 years on the road, making music with him. I'm in a kind of a new phase of life right now where my process is changing. 7 months ago, when life was sort of canceled, when our careers were canceled, and it was just like, oh my gosh, what? I had never thought this day would come. I remember the recession, 10 years ago, whenever that was, and Johnny and I, we stopped playing the big performing arts centers and things like that, but we always had house concerts that would support us. And I thought, we're never gonna be out of a job. This is always, it felt so secure. It still blows my mind that we're not able to gather. And music is so important in times like these. How are we supposed to share? I kind of went internal. I took it as an opportunity to learn and grow and, get a little bit of perspective. I was getting a little bit burnt out. When this hit, I was actually on tour in California. I stayed in California and I was alone for the first time in my life. So I took these few months to really care for myself. That was huge in terms of the contribution to my creativity. I've been practicing a lot. I've been reading a lot. I've been writing a lot, and not sharing it actually has been really nice, because that cycle sort of feels like it's complete within myself now, and I have more abundance now. I feel like I'm excited to share from a different place.
ha, go waggy waggy, hey hey, go waggaloo, ha ha, go waggy waggy, hee hee, go waggaloo.
The culvert was really neat. It had an energy there. It was like my own little conduit to the world. It was almost like, I could use the energy of this tube to actually feel like I could reach out to people through their screens. And I did feel really connected to everybody. So it felt like, even though we were separated physically, that we were all in this thing together. And then actually, I went on a social media hiatus. It was the blackout for Black Lives Matter. Right after that, I moved to a cabin in the woods with no internet, no cell service, nothing. As much as I love to connect with my fans, there was a replenishment for myself that needed to happen. And that's what I've been doing for the last 3 months.
Hey, hey, go waggaloo.